you were actually
Derp. And where's the sound coming from? There. I need to route that somewhere else. Needs to go to, yeah, C. C, see? And it is going to that, so it needs to go to C. All right, now that's going to C. Great. Okay, let's see what we did here. Yeah, that looks much better.
it's all level.
Dude, I don't know how to work the rake, man. It's like,
You okay? So if there's a level, a height that you like, you start the rake at that height, and then you just hold it down, and it spreads everything at the same level as that height that you picked first. So like, ideally, what I did is like I thought the height right here was good, and I started here, and I began the rake here, and then as you go out from there, it levels everything to that height.
right. But what happens when you go a certain way and it starts to like underneath the dirt? It makes it all funky, and I mean,
If you do it correctly, it shouldn't allow you to do that. Like if
okay,
you spread out from one spot and you spread out, and then it'll start like not spreading. Then
yeah,
you got to start again.
okay,
Like start again right next to the edge of that at the same height that you've already leveled,
right,
and then start right next to it, and then push it out from there again.
okay. Well, shit, I could almost wall this in now.
It's next to perfect, and it took me a long time to fix the edge of this from the second layer up.
Thank
This
you.
this was really hard to level to where it looked aesthetic.
Yeah, no, that's quite a bit of space too, and I also use the grass plant, and I think the aloe grows better in the dirt too.
It might. I would think that some of the stuff that you get out of the desert would grow better in sand and dirt and desert dirt.
I died.
I got you.
Prom told me that if it's not 4 walls high, it's not a grand hall. So
Seems about right.
yeah,
I don't like getting into these big grand builds. It's too daunting. There is a moment where you could probably um, get into a groove and just get it done. But there's this part that takes forever where you're not really sure what you're doing or what your outcome's going to look like. So you just kind of, I don't know, you stall out. Like I kind of feel like you might be there right now. Like
possibly. I mean, what I'm doing right now is just farming the shroud liquid. I'm not even concerned with any kind of details, any major detail or minor details. I'm just
right.
trying to build the structure, like it's like a mega structure basically, and it's gonna go like way high because this tower on the original thing that I built is still way short of the height cap, which is kind of crazy. But I think I'm almost certain, especially, well, I'm definitely certain with this guy with all the stamina and all that ring stuff that I could reach any fast travel. which would make this the main fast travel. You could get to any of the fast travel points from this point. And it's in a volcano, and Nick made the funny joke like I'm trying to trap Titans.
Right.
Because L. Ron Hubbard's history there, like we all got blown up in
Yeah.
volcanoes and trapped by religious movies
Right.
in these little box things, and that's why we're all religious now.
Hmm.
Yeah. Each box had a different like take on religion, so that's why everyone has a different religion. Interesting stuff.
I see. I got some more leveling out to do.
But what I'd like to do is have multiple entries, like one from the south. I've already got that one down there at the bottom. But like a fly-in entry from every direction. Possibly from every tower direction. Or fast travel direction. Because...
See, this height looks good, so I'm going to start here.
Members like me can like fly wherever, basically.
Yeah, I haven't perfected that yet. I dropped too much when I hit the release.
I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how to do it on the keyboard. I can only do it.
If you're flying and you hit right mouse button, you drop out of the glide and you start to free fall.
Yep.
If you're quick with the space bar, you can reactivate the flight and then you can hit the loft again. But I free fall too far before I'm able to activate the flight again.
Same.
And so,
Same here.
yeah, I don't know what you're doing with that is able to transfer those two movements a lot faster.
It's got to be
But
the commands on the controller versus the
right.
latency on the command on the keyboard. It's the only thing I can think of. This is a USB 3.0 controller. I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works. But yeah, the height is fucking. I didn't even get to it just then. Oh, if I select my hammer, it'll tell me when. It'll show me too. But I gotta enter build mode, and that looks all weird. Block flying right next to me. Okay. I think I'm almost there. Yep, that's it right here. So about another 2 floors or so, I guess, from the height of this tower. I think. Maybe 3. Yeah, it's so tempting to just play with the controller the whole time, but I switch between the two because combat with the controller is just so derp. I mean, as a wizard, it's not horrible because it's just like left trigger and X with the acid or the whatever thing you got loaded. But the archer, I can't do the archer with the controller, and I can't do the warrior with the controller. And I gotta say, man, the green guys are appropriately green because they take all your damn stamina, blocking their shit. This you already know.
Yeah.
Because when you get mobbed up on in the Scatterbone or that other place, what's it called? Deep Cut. You got 2 or 3 of them on you. You have no hope. There's no like stamina potion. If there was a stamina potion, then there would be
What I found is the combination of there is a stamina potion, the whatever fell potion.
yeah, that's just a 20% increase though, and that
Right,
takes up a
but
slot.
here's what I'm saying is you bust one of those and then you eat one of the sugar snacks and your, regen is good. You should be fine.
And you use sweet tooth. But see, I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not using sweet tooth. I'm not
Oh, I
doing
don't use the perk. I'm talking about the
just the
the
regen
the
itself.
snacks. Yeah.
Okay. I see.
I but most of my and maybe that's why I hate melee right now is because most of my melee builds I put some of the stam perks in there so I have better stam regen or whatever, and maybe that's why I get frustrated with some of the melee combat because I'm limiting my ability as a full melee by
Right.
adding stam in my build.
Yes, that was my thought about it too. And the melee works great all the way up until the very very end game. You can't do it.
Right. Yep. Because remember, I was having so much fun with it, and then when we got to the last little bottom corner of the map, I started getting frustrated right around there.
Right. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's. I guess it's doable, but it is so. It takes so damn long.
Yeah.
Uh,
It, and it's just so tedious when you're fighting those
yeah.
sickle cells and other flying creatures while the ground troops are attacking you at the same time. It's
Yeah,
it's
birds.
doable, but it's tedious.
Yes, exactly. Very tedious. It's the
That's
stam
you.
management. It's too
You don't
much
want
stam
to
management.
make a class tedious for somebody to play. That's bad game design.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You want everybody to be as engaged as you are when you're playing a wizard where you're just fucking mowing shit down eventually.
Yeah. I just sent you a video link.
VDO.
Yeah, you can share your so you can share your screen so I can switch
Oh,
between. We
okay.
can talk about characters and shit since we're already doing that.
Word. What's our password?
Dad, I have to change it now.
Yep.
I was trying to figure out how to switch the 13 to the 14 on the website, and it's using Nick has this thing. Uh, it's like a plug-in for WordPress, and it's Elementor, and I don't know how it works. I couldn't even go into a text thing and hit delete and press 4. That makes me feel pretty stupid. Alright, let's see. Copy solo view link. And control, let's see. Yep. Vinny, there's Miss B. Okay. Copy that. And which number are you? That's me. That's Gap. It's Pids. Roland. Vinny is 4. Miss B is 5. Alright, so I'm 0. Miss B is 5. Good. Great. Wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, wow. Damn, dude. What do you charge?
For landscaping for you.
Yeah.
I need to teach you how to do it.
Yeah. I'm
You de-
I'm so focused on farming shroud liquid for this damn theta trap, dude. That's all. That's really all I've been doing, and then continuing to make nitrate and farm twigs and wood and sandstone.
You get some weird vacuum hole right here that
Yeah, that's the kind of shit. You can fall through those and fall through the map.
I did. Yes.
It won't.
And one that I was doing at my place.
See, look.
Yep.
Ah.
Yeah, those are easy to fix. But I don't know where you have dirt at. You had one piece and I used it.
Oh, you need some regular dirt?
No, I need
Farm soil?
farm soil, yeah.
Okay, I get you farm soil.
Lols.
What?
Your little hole drop.
It's a sneaky. But I'm already here at the vaults. It's
Nice.
quick. Okay. Farm soil. Dirt, sand. I can just make some. My summoning staff. Here we go. Come here, woman. Need some soil. That's the regular soil, ain't it?
Yeah.
How much
The
bigger do you need?
tier 1. A 50 stack would be fine.
I got you 100.
Perfect.
I do need to redo the getting backed up because I'm in it to be one way then the other, then one way then the other. If that makes any sense. And one of these disappeared. Cool feature of this game. Open up your backpack. Go to an item. Click gift. Person in range. Boom.
Nice.
Now he has it in his inventory. There's no moderator in chat, so I don't know if there's anybody saying anything. I know we didn't have sound when I first started because I muted everything after this morning's broadcast. And apparently, yeah, my board like got the fader got stuck on my main mic all the way at Unity, like at the top. So I'm like blasting my mic crazy loud.
And it's like still low volume.
No, it's high volume is the thing.
Oh, I see.
It sounds like a radio DJ that showed up and didn't check his fucking settings and just did his broadcast, and then afterwards realized like his output gain on his mic was just fucking really loud. The music was audible, but the listeners would have had to turn everything down. You could still hear everything if you did that, but like it was so fucking loud that you had to turn the whole thing down. see, I couldn't do that fast with space and mouse. Did you hear the cape opening and closing?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, it's really fast. It's like doing that on the keyboard and mouse. I haven't been managed to do it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I could. I've done it a couple times where I gave myself definitely a lot of extra flight, but it's really hard to be consistent with it with the mouse and keyboard.
Shit. Okay, 107 water. Hi, Dan. What am I doing? What am I doing? I don't know where am I at? There we go. I'm stashing water all over the place, really, because different places I need it. Let's look at this fucking monstrosity. Yeah, like once I get it initially like formed up, like then that's gonna be like a whole take a break time, you know? It's like, oh, phew, the outside's done. Now do the inside. No, I think I'll do something else for a month.
Yes,
Maybe catch an idea here or there, you know?
that's kind of what just happened to me. And then now that I finished that place, I don't know if I'm gonna build anything for a while.
Yeah, you
I
did a great
just
job.
finished it. I just finished it like half hour ago. I put the final touches in and got my thing up to 66.
That is dope. Dope.
Word. Yeah, I like that little farmhouse that I have where I put the seed beds.
Yeah.
I like the fact that I
It
was able to
reminds
get
me
it.
of the like the in the game the homestead a little bit, like a smaller homestead.
Yeah, I went and looked at that building that it's kind of like a warehouse building on that property, and I kind of copied that when I built mine because I liked the way it looked, and I liked it. It looked functional as a um, like a warehouse slash barn type farmhouse thing. So that's why I copied that look because I liked the way it was on that property.
There's also a whole underground section that I could build, which would be absolutely nuts. But I probably need to because I need to put the little brainwashing chambers. It's gonna be a real theta trap. Could put little freaky rooms down in the mountain for reprogramming purposes. So people pay their taxes. I should have a cryo room because they were cryogenically frozen before they were put in the volcano. So I need a cryo room. Yeah. Kind of seeing where that second hall is going. Oh, damn. I bumped my head on the hole in the floor of the second hall and fell all the way to the floor of the first hall. Let me see how much the health damage. It almost killed me. Okay, put this stuff away. me. It's cool when you find something new, something you've been playing about quite a bit.
Yep. I'm not really discovering much new lately.
Nah, same old. A couple of items, but not necessarily new items, but higher level versions or different versions, different modifiers. And the blackened staff is new to me, relatively. I'd love to
Yeah,
get a legendary blackened staff, but
yeah,
I
me
found
too.
one of those.
I found like a uncommon or a rare or whatever.
I've got a level 20 blackened staff, precise brutal mana, +1 in mana leech, 5%. I really like the whole idea of a shroud wizard, shroud, magic user.
Yeah,
But like the application of it is like, what would you use it for?
right. It doesn't really have any like you can get a wand with shroud damage and that would be cool if you're going full battle wizard. I guess that's the way to go. Like get a
Yeah.
wand and but I noticed that I didn't really like the damage I was getting out of shroud weapons even with the shroud damage bonuses in the wizard line.
Well, you're not gonna get it on the fell is the thing. So it's kind of like a
Right.
above the shroud kind of a
Right.
deal. And if there were enemies that were, uh, had a mitigation weakness, to shroud damage, which I think most of the animals and stuff do have a weakness to shroud damage.
Right, but there's really no animals that are a threat in this game once you
Yeah,
get to a certain
exactly.
level.
So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to invest in shroud bonuses, 30%, just because you can already one-shot a thing with a shroud wand, helix.
Right.
Which is what I'm holding right now. This is the blackened staff, which looks really cool because it actually kind of houses the projectile right in the center. I like the way that looks, as opposed to the Shroud Weaver, which still puts the projectile in the center. Where's my Shroud Weaver at? Man, oh, what was I going to say? Okay, so it's like in the middle, but it's the animated projectile, or whatever you call it, is being obscured by the staff. So I think that either the projectile should be increased so that the little embers that come off of it are more visible, and I think that would make the Shroud Weaver, which is currently like the OP staff of the game, I think that would make it look a lot cooler. Scale up the animated projectile, the animations. So, because this looks way cooler, because it fits, and you can see all the projectile, all the little wisps coming off of the magic. And when you switch, you can see the effect of the switching better. Yeah, you know how that happened? That whole mess right here? I was in desperate need of some fertilized soil, and I just was duping it,
Yep.
and I never filled it back in. Some resin on the ground. Guess I planted some trees over here. resin go? There it goes. I got regular weed now, so I'm not just smoking keef. That shit clogged up my one hitters so bad.
Oh yeah, keef is just pure oil and crystal, so it's all the sticky parts.
Yeah, I got so much. I kept pulling it out, and I was like, damn, there's more? Just out of this tiny little one hitter. I was only smoking the key for 4 or 5 days or something. But I was getting way too fucking high. Stupid high.
Yes, I would agree with that. There was a few times hanging out with you. It was difficult.
Well, you knew me before I even smoked again, you know?
Yes.
So that's got to be even a little,
I,
slightly weird.
I do have a litmus test of where you were and what you are, where you're at.
I was definitely a very sober individual at one point.
I need some dirt.
Regular dirt?
Yeah, but don't get me any. I'm gonna go grab some.
I need to finish mining out this fucking copper because this all has to be. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't make. I might as well mine it if it's here and then just fill it in.
Oh right, because it's not gonna come back.
Yep. See what Mispy's doing.
Mispy's getting dirt. Mine's not gonna be much more exciting.
Yeah, I see that. I'm like, well, I'm mining copper and he's mining dirt. This is why it's Minecraft. This is Minecraft. I'm gonna be playing Helldivers with Ash Sunday. Wish me luck.
Cool. I was watching a little bit of the Brick guys, Jack Frags and Stoddy and.
Oh, really? They're playing?
Yeah, I was watching some of their live broadcasts today, and I was like, I could see the appeal and how it would be fun, but I could also see me just totally spazzing and getting frustrated because I take shit way too serious sometimes.
Yeah. Ash is like, well, it's satire, you know. But at the same time, like all of the stuff that he was also showing me, the orbital, like when you're in orbit, whatever 4-man crew you're playing with, it's a 4-man co-op.
Yeah.
It groups the ships, and so like you can look out the window and see other players in their groupings. That's part of the social interaction or social matchmaking. But like a lot of these kind of co-ops, it's hard to find. Well, not necessarily hard to find players, but you have the whole pug group thing where people would rather play with people they've played with and they know how to play, etc. So it's almost like Helldivers, the single player experience that everyone has been raving about for the last couple weeks might be, or not single player, but the newness of the game. I'm not saying it's wearing off because there's still a lot of people playing the shit out of it, but probably somewhat like this game, there's some people that have sort of slowed down and or have stopped. Like this isn't my kind of game or whatever.
Right.
And I love Starship Troopers. I love killing space bugs. That's fun. But that's, I don't know if I'm gonna like it as much as everyone says. I do really like this because I can be serious. I can go out have fun playing a whatever class do to make, and or I can just do this and fucking mine and
Right,
build.
when you're not feeling. That's the thing is I like games like this because nowadays because you're not constantly doing the hardcore version.
Yeah,
You get to like take a break and do some farming when you're not feeling up to like button mashing. You know.
yeah, and I think the type of player that would stick around in a game like this uh, is this sort of like a game that they enjoy. Would be it's not the type of there's never any urgency really, not unless you're leveling someone new and introducing them to the game and all the game mechanics. Once you get past all of that, it's very very chill. But I'm not sure if Helldivers 2 is one of those games where it's just like, okay, okay, we need to do this, we need to do this. It's kind of like Ron. Ron is sort of like that. When Vinny gets into Ron, you know, he wants to do another match, another match, another match. It's like I love the tactical genre, and sometimes we have epic, epic moments. But I don't want to do 6 or 8 scenarios in one session. That's too much stress.
Right.
Because, like you said, there are things that you take seriously. You know, maybe too seriously, but you can't really. I don't think we could really say that we're taking anything as serious as we used to. So we're taking things a little less seriously these days.
Right.
And just having a little, trying to have fun.
That's where I'm at. My life needs fun more than it needs anything else. So
Yeah,
I
and
don't need competition as much.
it's something that I'll say at band practices, or even just starting in a project. Like if it's not fun, then we shouldn't do it. So if you're not having fun, don't do it.
For reals.
It's as simple as that. And so in our gaming community, or in any gaming community, or any community that is really into something, and they have whether it's the latest trend or the newest game, they're like, it's almost like peer pressure, like, you gotta come do this, you gotta come do that. No, no, no. I'm fine where I'm at. I'm good. If I want to go kill zombies, I'll kill zombies. If I want to go kill space bugs, I'll kill space bugs. If I want to mine copper in Embervale, I'm going to mine copper in Embervale.
Faux shiz.
This is a massive vein. For some reason, I just thought of Macho Man and Savage.
I was watching the clip of him in the Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire where he plays that wrestler called Bonesaw. I love that because there's that line, Bonesaw is ready.
I don't think I've seen that.
It's pretty good. There's a clip on YouTube. You should pull it up. It's pretty funny.
Macho Man.
Oh, he's so good. It's
Yep.
one of the. I was never into wrestling, but him and Ultimate Warrior were my favorites.
Ultimate Warrior was my for sure favorite. I got to see him live.
He turned out to be kind of a
crazy
conservative
guy.
Crazy douchebag, but yeah, he actually kind of got over that whole thing and realized he was a jerk and has become a lot more.
Well, he passed as well.
Right.
Yeah. He did
but
a
before
whole thing
that,
on YouTube. Kind of a behind the scenes, if you want to call it that. Expose was more like it, where he was talking about Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant and all these people. It was like mental health stuff. He was like, what we were doing was not cool, essentially. That's what he was saying, because a lot of them were using drugs and everyone knew it. Vince McMahon was like fanning the fires of their addiction and all this stuff. And I don't think he was really, um, I don't think he had bad intentions. I think he just wanted the people who were fans to know, more than he wanted to destroy someone's career. But Hulk
Right.
Hogan did address a lot of this stuff and just sort of denied it all. Like, that never happened, which was a little strange. And then Ric Flair hasn't really denied it, And when you see Ric Flair, he's like with Snoop Dogg, smoking joints and shit in Vegas.
Yeah, he's
Big
having a
advocate for pot.
resurgence to his social popularity.
Yep. Which is crazy because everyone hated Ric Flair.
Right?
Yeah, I hated Ric Flair. I knew that.
Yeah, well, he was a heel back then. Now he's like, because he's old school and all the other ones are dead.
Yeah. See, that's the thing, and that's what Ultimate Warrior was kind of saying on his channel. He's like, look, a lot of us are going to be dead soon, and it's not necessarily because of old age,
Right.
We were encouraged to do things to keep going, and he stated that he was clean and sober from illegal drugs throughout his career. But he said it was very hard to be in the WWF during those years because, especially Andre, like he was heartbroken about Andre because Andre couldn't hardly do shit. He was just like a circus freak to the McMahons, is the way he was describing it. And but they made him a lot of money. He became very rich, and all of his habits, came along with that, and he had the money to fund them. So he died a very young, premature death, even considering that he was, I don't know what the medical condition is called
Right.
that he had, but
You get heart problems when you're that big.
right. And he was big.
Yeah. Yeah, eventually your heart, I think you get what I got. You get some sort of myopathy where because you're so big, your heart's constantly working harder than a normal sized person's heart is to pump blood all throughout that giant body.
Yeah.
So then the muscle gets thick just like mine is, and it eventually causes blockage and other issues.
Right, but it's not like cholesterol blockage or anything. It's just
No,
muscle
no, it's
blockage.
actually muscle blockage. Yes,
Yep.
that's what mine is too. It's not cholesterol. I got a thick wall, and as I'm getting older, it's getting thicker, and the thicker it gets, the harder my heart has to work
To
to
pump.
pump blood, and then the thicker it gets because of it. It's like
Right.
basically killing me slowly.
You got a strong heart, though.
Well, I did. I don't anymore. It's fucking totally fucking struggling these days. Whatever. I think about things and I'm like, I had a pretty good life. I've done some cool shit. I've done way cooler shit than most people.
Could ever dream of. Yeah, I sympathize or whatever. I share that
Em-
in common with you.
Empathize. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for, somebody my age, which isn't that old, but it's still, old enough. I've had some great experiences. I've done all kinds of different things. I've lived different towns, different
All
lives.
different lives, yeah. You've had multiple lives already.
Yep. And it's, I can't complain. A lot of people don't get that opportunity, or just, they make choices earlier that lead to more of a stagnant lifestyle. And I chose to not have children and not be married and go on and have lots of experiences that were very visceral and very fun. And I don't regret any of it.
Yeah. And they also wouldn't have been accessible had you done, any of those
Right.
other things.
Exactly.
It's a non-option. You can't check the box. This is reminding me of that episode of American Dad where Stan goes to visit his brother who has the copper mine. And he's like jealous because they have all this cool shit. And he tries to sue his brother. Because at their dad's deathbed, Stan was like, all he wanted was the money. And he said, to you, Stan, I leave all the money. And Stan was like, oh boy, see, haha, I told you I'm the favorite. And then he looks at his brother and he says, well, to you, I leave you all this land in Nevada or Arizona or something. And the dude was like, oh shit, I didn't get the money. And then later, he finds out that there's copper all up in that shit and becomes a multi-millionaire. And they're dragging Stan out of the house because he initially got them evicted, and because of the connections of the CIA or whatever. And when they come back, they're like, Mr. whatever, Stan Smith, Mr. Smith, you're gonna have to vacate this home. You can't abuse your power like this. He's like, no. They're dragging him out, and he's like, oh God, the floor is heated.
You ever been in a home with a heated floor?
Yeah, I have. It's crazy, man.
It's fucking phenomenal, dude.
Yeah. Imagine
I was in this
saves
I was in
on.
this house once that had a cement floor. It's just a really boring gray cement floor, but it was heated, and it was middle of winter when I was in it. And you would just get up in the morning and be like, oh my God, are you fucking serious? This is so awesome.
Yeah, or at night, you get up at night to go to the fridge or something, and your feet aren't freezing when you get back in bed.
Right, exactly. And it's expensive to install it, but it actually cuts down on.
It's gotta save power.
Oh, it does, because
Because of the
it's
HVAC kicking on and off. Like,
right. Well, it's hot water, like, for the most part. They run warm water through the floor, and it's cheaper than gas.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's very expensive to install, though.
it is.
And it's a pain in the ass. You kind of got to do it at the beginning.
Well, you have to build it in when you're laying. You can always tear out the floor in your house and remake it, which people do, but that's too expensive, the removal and the install. So
Right.
it's not really worth it when you do it that way.
I'm curious to see how much copper 3 pickaxes worth of pickaxe yields. This big ass copper vein. Yeah, Ash is, you know how he can be intense. I don't like being rushed through stuff, but, I might not have that option with him. Be like, here, put this on. Okay, use this. All right, now let's go. Go.
That is definitely my experience with playing with some of those hardcore guys. They want to get you up to their speed so they can run you around, and in all the levels that they do. And I don't really learn well that way. I just get frustrated. I learn better when I.
I'm gonna probably frustrate him. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I'll ask all the questions. Be like, well, no, wait. You're gonna tell me, put this on, do this. Well, wait, why am I doing this? Well, just do it. No. I need to know why.
Yep. That's my superpower in video games is learning the intricacies of a game, and then I get. Oh man, we need to sleep. I can't see when I'm flattening out.
Alright.
I'll sleep. We
I
don't
got
need
it.
both of us.
Oh, here we go.
I don't even know where a bed is.
Second floor. Facing the garden. That side. Uh,
What am I doing?
that way. Yep, that way, all the way. Boom.
Fucking morning already.
Okay. Let's see how much copper I've got to burn up in the bars. I needed the copper. Okay. 100, 200, 300, 400, 552. Let's do this. 7 queued. Also got. Oh no, I missed. So it was 612. My bad. Okay, that's a lot of copper, yo.
Yeah, but now you have this big pit on your land that you can't easily fill in because it's
I know.
crazy web of holes.
You know, I may run a tunnel through there. Maybe put some auditing rooms or reprogramming rooms or something. Connect one side of the.
You're really leaning into this whole Scientology build here.
Well, I mean, you know, Nick made the comment. I thought it was hilarious, and it is on a volcano. So why the fuck not, man?
I got it. I get it. I'm with you.
There's some people that would, when I get it done, would probably laugh and see this shit. They're like, look at this dumb fuck. Okay.
I'm gonna fall off the cliff if I try to fix that. I guess my only option is to pickaxe it. Almost fell to my death.
Don't do that.
Actually, it probably would have been pretty funny.
It's very dangerous up here. Yeah, this is a fucking mess.
Yeah. It's okay.
Shit. Stay away from the copper mine area. It's pretty treacherous.
I saw that and I chose to stay away. I almost fell in one of the holes. And so I was like, yeah, maybe I'll just work over here. Because I was kind of wrapping this fertilized farm soil around the corner here towards that,
Yeah,
but now I'm
that
gonna
can
leave
wait.
that alone. Yeah.
I
I mean, I wrapped it around pretty good. There's a
see
lot
that.
more than there was.
Damn, it just keeps going, man.
The vein,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh no, though. It's gotta end at some point, right?
At some point,
That's all the hope I need.
glad I could help.
That's just stone. Alright, okay.
All right. I just maybe tripled your
Yield
fertilized
capacity.
farm soil on the backside here.
Awesome.
And both layers are extremely flat and transition nicely together. So aesthetically, it looks better too.
Oh man, there's more. Oh shit.
Yeah, you just made Swiss cheese out of this side of
Dude,
your
yeah,
hill.
I was starting to clean it up because I thought I had most of it, but I don't. Okay, that was just a small little spot that I missed. Okay, I need to go up here. I don't know where that goes. It looks like it might go up and I don't want to be digging up through the soil. There's another rain. Okay. Alright, it ended there. Okay, there's some. Okay.
It's like some sort of Salvador Dali nightmare.
Okay. Oh, I see a spot over here. Ah! Whoa. I live dangerously. That's just sand. Alright. There's some right here. Okay, that's all sand. Alright. Oh, there's a tiny little piece. Piece.
You know, like I said, I was watching a bunch of music things last night. Maybe I didn't mention that. I don't know. I was mentioning it to somebody earlier today. I was watching a bunch of old. I found this I think they're new. Somebody's been recently posting them, but it's like stuff from the late '70s. It's like I think Wolfman Jack. It was a TV show that he was hosting.
Mm.
Anyhow, it was mostly classic rock stuff. So it's all like Fleetwood Mac and Cheap Trick and Aerosmith and Steely Dan and all that late '70s rock and roll stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was watching, and one of them was Ted Nugent, and I was like, yeah, I fucking really like a couple of his songs, even though he's a giant douchebag.
Yeah.
And I was watching Stranglehold, which is a fucking phenomenal guitar song.
Yep.
And I was watching, I'm like, oh my god, it's so good, and yet he's such a douchebag. I liked it better when I didn't know what a douchebag he was. You know what I mean? And it just made me think about all the stuff today with the speed of social media and how quickly you get information.
Well, yeah, how you can get to know someone without even really knowing them.
Right.
Yep.
Well, I mean, like even sports stars today, like you find out what a douchebag your favorite sports stars are now, and so it's like uh, I just liked it better back in the day when we were all ignorant to how crappy a lot of these people were, and just like them for what their entertainment
Yeah, their
skill.
abilities. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Bob Dylan is like that for me.
Yeah, he's a fucking douche nozzle.
I've never met him, but I've been to 4 shows, and it's just like he could give two shits. He knows he's Bob Dylan, the legend, and he puts on, just a show. It ain't even, and I get it. He's old. I even whenever I saw him the first time in 2000, he was already, all gray and weeble wobbling around the stage. But uh, yeah, even back then, he was just like he would just stand there and just mumble words. Having covered Bob Dylan in the past, I know how hard it is to remember his lyrics,
Right,
and also being a songwriter, I know how hard it is to remember my own damn lyrics. That's why I
right,
write them simple. So, like, majority of the times I saw him play, he's like mumbling uh, his words,
right.
and I get it, cause like, how the hell are you gonna remember all that shit? He's got a whole set to play, even if it's a 45-minute set. His songs have so many words, especially the
Well,
ones that are popular in his old '60s folk stuff.
that that's what I was about to say. Is like a lot of the stuff people want to hear is the shit that he played years ago, and he's probably tired of playing them.
Yeah,
And so, like committing to keeping them mentally intact is probably not a priority anymore. He's
oh
so
no,
tired of
that's
playing those songs.
fucking in 2000, and it's already 40 years old. So
Exactly.
now it's who bought the catalog? I think Warner bought the catalog for $500 million. That's just what he got for the purchase. That's not. He still will be getting uh, royalties
Royalties.
and
Yeah.
also residuals.
Licensing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, residuals come from licensing, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's a lot. Jacob, I always liked Jacob, his son's music, um, but I haven't read any comments about their relationship in many years since he was a baby, basically. I read the Bob Dylan autobiography, and that's what did it for me. I was like, this guy is a fucking asshole. And now when I listen, and I love his music, and now when I listen to his music, I can't help but think, God, this guy's such a fucking dick.
Yep.
So like, I'm with you, man. I wish it could just be like, oh, listen to this
Ignorant.
music. It's cool. Yeah.
Blissfully ignorant.
Ignorance is bliss.
It really is. And that's something that this current generation that's being raised, they don't get it. And they want to know everything about everybody and expose all the good and the bad about somebody. And it just detracts from the artistry of everybody because nobody's perfect. So you're always going to find
And
something
any
wrong with
great
somebody.
artist is gonna be kind of crazy.
Right. If you watch fucking Nugent play back in his fucking heyday, it's clear that dude's not stable.
Right.
It's fucking super clear to me, dude. He's clearly kind of a scumbag, and he's clearly just fucking like in some like uh
Altered state.
aut- autistic way. He's a fucking genius. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know the word I'm looking for, but he's clearly like kind of a genius and kind of a fucking weirdo at the same time,
Yeah. There's a quote for that. There is no genius without a touch of madness.
right?
Yeah. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, I was watching a live performance of Stranglehold, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's so good! Oh my god, he's such a creep."
Yeah.
It was ruining it
Because you
for him.
know. Because you know. If you
Yeah,
didn't know, you'd be like, damn, that's fucking badass.
right?
uh, yeah.
It's funny. I've even seen Nugent live, even after I kind of knew he was like a weird gun nut, fucking
I was about to say
conservative.
I've met him briefly in Sulphur, Louisiana, because there was a gun convention in town.
Yeah, that's his. And I'm not like against the Second Amendment. I'm not one of the fucking we need to get rid of all guns kind of guy. I think we need better protection against them, at, at least as far as giving access to our just generic citizens. Anyhow,
Generic,
that's a
generic
discussion
citizen.
for another. Well, you know what I mean, like people that are just that
Well, you know what
anybody
I
off the
think of
street.
is the to make it humorous, the uh, the people at the beginning of Mike Judge's movie Idiocracy, like those people. Uh,
Yes,
that's who has the guns. The majority of them. That's freaky.
right, and that's what I mean by generic citizens.
Gotcha.
Those people don't need
Those
guns.
people are scary because they have lots and lots of babies.
Yes.
Well, you know,
I,
Tom might have something to say about that. I'd love to hear Tom's opinion.
well, I've kind of had the discussion with Tom
Yeah?
a little bit. Yeah, we started like the last time I was in channel with Tom, because I used to be full Second Amendment. I think the whole gun control thing is just uh, I don't know. It's a problematic situation because I believe in the concept of protecting a well-regulated militia to protect us from tyranny. I
Yeah.
believe in that. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
I 100% believe in that concept, but right now, too many fucking dipshits who go and shoot up schools are shooting up schools, and if we're not going to address the mental health aspect of it, then we better
Yeah.
address the gun aspect of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, that's a really fucking excellent point. It really is. Like, address at least one of them, you know?
Yep.
Fuck. Because it is a problem. My kids are scared sometimes to go to school. You know, Stella didn't want to go to a dance because this kid said he was gonna that he had well this kid got caught with bullets at school,
Right.
and the principal in quotations handled it, and he was threatening to go to the dance and shoot up all the girls
Yeah, it's always the
just for being
incels, dude.
girls, just for being
It's
girls.
always the incels that end up killing everybody because they
What's an
they
incel?
don't have an involuntary celibate.
Oh, dude, that makes so much sense now. I've heard that word before and I never knew what it fucking meant. Now it makes sense. Okay. So the incels are the ones. Yeah, this kid, he can't
If you
get
think
any.
about it,
He
yeah, all
can't
the
get
kids
any.
that,
He's mad at all the
well,
girls.
all the girls, because they don't pay attention to them.
Yep.
And there's nobody at home going, don't worry about high school girls or junior high girls. Don't worry about them. Wait until you're in college and you're smart and you're doing good because you're kind of a nerd.
Right.
Eventually, you're gonna get the
You're gonna
cool
get
ass chicks.
all the. Yeah, you're gonna get all the hoochie coo.
Nobody fucking spends the time to explain this shit to their children anymore.
Yeah, I
And
know. It's
I
fucking.
was just when I noticed that you came online and popped into the server, and I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast, which I don't listen to as often because he's totally gone way too fucking
Extreme.
right. He's
I think it's.
leaning way too right because of all the lefties that started to try to cancel him, pushed him into a corner.
Yeah, he's also been in the entertainment business quite a while in L.A. and I don't know if you have paid attention to some of the stuff going on over there with the. Well, I mean, obviously the Harvey Weinstein shit, but
Well,
there's.
he moved to Texas, dude.
Yeah, yeah, he moved to Austin.
Yeah, because he didn't want to be in all that fucking LA shit. He's totally a dad, a good husband.
Yeah.
Like he claims that he's never sidestepped on his chick, even though he's famous and probably easily could.
Well, yeah,
Um,
and that's the thing. Anyone is capable of making a mistake, man. Like it's.
right.
But because of his, you know, visibility or whatever, his PR and all that, like these would be things that someone who has been working in Hollywood for a long time would be considering.
Yeah. Well, anyhow, he had a woman who wrote a book, um, and that's pretty much it's about the way we're raising kids and the psychology aspect of it all. It's actually a really good interview. I haven't enjoyed one in a long time, and I actually really enjoyed this one.
That's good. I love the like when you talk about mental health, dude. Like the opiate crisis. Okay, sure. I think that was sort of more of a. It became a crisis because people who saw what was happening were like either didn't care, were profiting, or participating in it. Um, but
Well, it
the
also started affecting white people. It
yeah,
was a white.
yeah, right.
If you think about it, it became a white person problem. So,
Yep,
and you know, a majority of people, there wasn't like, oh, it's so, occasionally a white person has a problem with this. It was like there's just as many white people with an opiate problem as there are fucking people from the disadvantaged neighborhoods.
yeah,
And so they can't just fucking go ignore it like they do with all the other drug and alcohol problems
right.
because
They're like, oh, we're seeing this now. Oh, okay.
right.
As long
Yeah.
as it's in the place we don't see, then and we don't go, then it's
Yeah, well,
fine.
that's a huge problem in this country is that there's like this whole I'm just gonna put my head in the sand until it's my problem, and that goes for everybody. It's not just the
Yeah, I'm guilty
fucking
of it.
douchey white people, although they're the most guilty of it, But everybody puts their head in the sand, yeah. But some people, more than others, and
I'm definitely
uh,
guilty.
ignoring societal problems because they're not affecting you.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I mean, I've done the same for most of my life when it comes to the problems that African Americans have. I mean, I'm not particularly. I wouldn't say I've ever been racist, but like outwardly or nothing. But I definitely just ignored those problems for years because they didn't affect me.
right.
And now they affect me. It really bothers me to see how African Americans are treated in this country.
Totally.
It really bothers me to see how the cops treat them. And
It's
like,
bothered me for a long time, but just like you, it's like what the fuck? I
right.
want to go
It's
fucking.
always bothered me because I'm not, I'm not racist. I wouldn't say that I haven't been ignorant in my life. I have, but I'm not a
Oh
racist.
yeah, I was raised by a racist. I definitely was. I can't say that I never been racist. I can't.
Well, being ignorant and being racist is two different things. Like you can say ignorant racist things, but not necessarily be a racist. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot. That's the meaning behind ignorance is not knowing any better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so there's, while I've never considered myself a racist because I don't care that about somebody's skin color, but I've definitely realized that there's been some ignorance on my part when it comes to how African Americans are treated in this country and some of my ways I've thought about it or dealt with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Like there's a lot of cultural things that African Americans have in their lives that I'll never understand because I didn't grow up black, and I'll never understand that some of the cultural things about it.
Right. I live in Broadmoor, so it's we're like the only white people for blocks. I don't know.
Yeah, but
Maybe
still,
multiple blocks.
like living in black neighborhoods doesn't it maybe gives you a little bit more insight, but you'll still never know what it's like to live as a
Oh
black
no, it's like you
person.
said the other night. The last thing I'd ever want to be in America is a black man. I think you said
Right.
that.
I did. And
Yeah.
it's true.
Right.
And it's not because I dislike black men, it's because I wouldn't want to have to deal with the fucking bullshit that our society puts on them.
Yeah. Totally.
It's ridiculous. Um, I lived in a predominantly black neighborhood as a only white guy. Even my neighbor or my roommate, um, Nec- Necrosis. You
Necrosis.
remember him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He and I lived in San Francisco, and he's Native American, and so
What
nobody
tribe?
gave a shit about him living. He's Yurok.
Oh, okay.
Yurok's a local around here where we live. Um, Klamath River tribes. Anyhow, so he obviously didn't stick out like a sore thumb in a black neighborhood, but I did.
Yeah. Right.
And when I first moved into the neighborhood, I drove my truck to work every day, so I didn't really experience the neighborhood. And then I decided driving my truck into downtown San Francisco every day was a fucking terrible plan because not only was it just a nightmare to find parking, but once I did, it cost a fucking arm and a leg to park there all day. So I started taking the train. And to catch the train in my neighborhood, I had to stand at a bus stop that was
Sketch.
a little sketch and not very
Well, there's
friendly
just
towards me at
always somebody
first.
watching. My neighbor Joey says, just know that there's always somebody watching,
Right, right.
whether you
Well,
see them or not. You know.
right. And you know, uh I never had any issues, and at first I got a lot of looks and it felt really uncomfortable at first.
Hmm.
Just the looks I was getting and the general behavior around me being there seemed a little sketch, but the fact that I showed up there every day and had a cup of coffee with me and had some work like a bag to take to work. I think I had my laptop or whatever I was taking to my graphics job or whatever. Anyhow, like nobody after a while I was just another guy at the bus stop. You know what I mean? And even a couple people acknowledged me a few times. Nobody's ever got like super friendly with me, but a few people gave me the head nod a few times or whatever. That
Yeah.
wasn't the case at first.
Now imagine having to deal with that fucking everywhere you
Right, and that's exactly
go.
what I was getting at. Yep. Me being the only white dude in the neighborhood, I got some uncomfortable feelings, and it makes me realize what the brothers and sisters have to go through fucking living in this world.
All the time,
It's
every
fucking
day.
ridiculous.
Even in New Orleans, man. And this is a very cultured city. You know, a lot of
Yes,
African, a lot of
and
African.
it's got really good integration where the African Americans and the Caucasian people interact a lot better with each other there than it does in a lot of other places. Like
No That's part of why I love it here. And where
Right.
the town I'm from, it's like anywhere you go, it's just so it's so white, and it's not like I care. It's but what I do care, what does bother me is whenever a person of color comes in to a store or a restaurant, and everyone's like, oh.
Right. You hear all the forks drop and
Yeah,
shit.
I mean, it ain't that extreme, but it's noticeable fucking enough. It's like Jesus
Yeah.
Christ already.
Yeah, well, I've been with my African American friends going into places, and that shit's happened. It's super noticeable when you're in party with somebody who's having to deal with that.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking, to be honest with you. That shit's still, and I think it's getting
It's
worse.
2024, man.
Oh,
2024.
and it's gotten worse because in the '90s, at some point, I felt like we were pretty well on our way to getting out of that fucking kind of cultural bullshit.
Right.
That divide. And then all of a sudden it seems like it's fucking reverted like well back into like
The
60s
70s.
era
Yeah,
style.
60s, 70s.
Yeah. So I think towards the end of the 70s is when it really first started to alleviate some of that pressure that were having to deal with because
Oh yeah,
there's a lot
they
more.
had people getting established careers, jobs, and whatnot.
Yeah,
Like
and
in
Hollywood took it upon themselves to start adding African Americans to productions
right.
more, and they were part of which really helped a lot culturally.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They say
Oh, you're finally gonna fix that hole?
I don't know if I have what I need on me to do it. This
I
regular
might.
dirt.
Yeah, I think just regular dirt.
Do you have any?
I do.
I'll fix it if you give me the dirt.
Oh, I don't. I ran out. I've been using it too, filling up holes around here.
Woo! Through the hole. Yeah, I want to make more of those and different. Maybe I don't know if I want to do the same shape, but this was easy for me to do because it's squared. Basically. A
The
little.
the flight hole.
Yeah, I want to fly into most of the entries on this tower, Theta Trap.
It is a very aerial game. I like that. It's one of the things that sets it apart from other.
I want to do one on a slant on a roof, you know, and have one on each uh, cardinal direction at least. And then it'd be cool to have one that's like the shape of an X or something that you have just enough space to fly through, like one at a time. All right, I need dirt. That's what I'm looking for. Dirt. That's sand. Oh, here's dirt.
I think my mom's like legitimately mad at me.
Why? What did you do this time?
All right, so my mailbox is fucking forever away, and it's been raining a lot, and so I haven't really been all that motivated to fucking
Fix it.
take the walk all the way down to the end of the road, because it's not like at the end of my driveway. It's fucking literally at the end of the road that I live on.
Yeah.
So I haven't, and she sent me something, and when my mom sends me stuff, she calls me every day. Did you get the mail yet? Did you get the mail yet? It's kind of annoying, but it's kind of endearing at the
Yeah,
same time.
it's adorable, but it's like, yeah,
It,
mom.
it's more adorable than it is annoying, but when I don't do it, I start feeling bad. And I think she starts taking it, like if I don't go to the mailbox right away and see what she got me, I think she starts taking it kind of personally. And so
Huh.
I think I didn't go and get this shirt because it's been raining, and she bought me a shirt. And the thing is, I wasn't even that motivated to get it no matter what because it was just a different color of a shirt she already got me, so I knew I was gonna like it, right? So
Yeah.
because I like the other one that she bought.
Right.
Anyhow, and so, but I went and got it, and I messaged her that I liked the color, that I thought she picked a good color because it was different color
Did
than the
she
other one.
calm down after that?
She hasn't even responded to me at all.
Oh.
I think she's
Yeah, I think
actually
you
mad
did.
at me.
I think you did make her mad. Yep.
Yeah.
That's too bad. I do not like making my mom mad.
I don't either, 'cause especially since my mom's starting to lose her memory, and so I only got a finite amount of time left before like her and I are on a whole different fucking
Wavelength.
uh yeah, because I'll be dealing with a forgetful human that doesn't really remember who I am. half the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
She totally forgot one of her really good friends. She like kind of remembered her. She like ran into her doing something, and she said, "Oh, I saw this woman from my reading group." And she was explaining to her, and I'm like, "That sounds like Kathleen." And I'm like, "Are you talking about Kathleen?" And she's all, "Oh yeah, yeah, that's her name, Kathy." And I'm like,
Mm.
"Uh, that was like one of your best friends back in the day." And she just thought of her as like this woman that she kind of remembered from her reading group. And I'm like, "No, Kathleen's the one who took you to reading group, and that's
Oh
like
wow.
because you guys are like really good friends."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow, she's like forgetting one of her best friends," and
That's sad to see, man. The memory
it really
loss.
is. Oh, it's terrible.
Even with really shitty people like my stepdad. Like seeing his memory go, like because there's things that he would want to remember, you know,
Right.
and that he doesn't remember them is it's a little perturbing to see that just as a in general. Like you see, I've seen car wrecks, I've seen accidents, I've seen a bunch of fucked up things, and this sort of almost is in the category of those kind of fucked up things.
Yeah.
See, I can't look at what I did here, dude. Like, what the fuck am I even? This is what happens when I use a rake.
I see. Are you holding it down or are you clicking it?
I'm holding. I hold it down, like say I'm gonna do this, but this right here is not filling in. Ineffective, ineffective,
That's because
ineffective.
underneath it's not fully filled. You might have to dig down and flatten it out. Here, I know what we're gonna
What if
do.
I do this with the dirt and do that?
Right, that should help. Yeah, that'll probably help.
All right, and then go back
And
to
then
the
get it. Yeah.
rake, and then make sure
Find a
everything
level
is.
that you like and then just stick to it. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Looking good.
Yeah, but see, it's ineffective right here, and look.
Well, that's because you didn't butt your dirt right up to the edge. And there is a weird thing with the. Let me see if I could push it in. Push it in.
Push it in. Giggity. Yeah, see, that, you're making this shit look like magic, like a fucking Ronco infomercial. The rake.
It's all about those two circles. It's the inner circle. If you bring
I
like
swear to
what I'm
God,
doing
it's
is
like
I'm bringing it
Ronco.
right up to the edge, dude. Look at that. It looks
Yeah,
it's
look
all
at this.
butted.
It's just easy with the Ronco. You just set it and forget it. And what about those cookies? Well, let's go check on those. What about the beef jerky? How are you making all this at the same time? Well, with the Ronco food dehydrator, decombobulator, refrigerator, smoker, you can do all three at the same time. I can roast a chicken. It's a chicken roaster, too. No. Yes, it is.
uh,
Would you like to try a little bit of this? Uh, listen, just taste all the juice. You can see all the juice. It's like it was cooked in the oven. Just like it was cooked in the oven. I can't tell the difference. Can you? No, Ron, I can't. Yeah, I still need a lot of practice with that tool.
it's so I could tell you never played Valheim at all
Yeah, I have not.
because a lot of these things that this game has are things that were taken directly from the Valheim game mechanics, the building and landscaping mechanics. It was a voxel game, very
Yeah.
similar. Everything, a lot of this earth moving and landscaping and building system is very, very, very similar to Valheim.
Okay.
It's almost I'm a little worried that Valheim might fucking sue these guys. It's that close. So I've already got tons of practice with this shit. Basically works very similar to the rake in that game.
Okay, so you got hours in. Yeah, I do kind of get now why some of the holes I was getting were happening is because if I just fill it in, then those weird little anomalous artifact. It's like artifacts, sort of, in the dirt. But see, this just looks all fucking natural, man. What the shit?
Yeah, you know, some people got it, some people don't.
Hmm. This is true on multiple levels. Hmm.
Have you smoked weed today, Crow?
Oh God, yes. I did high noon, and I did 6 rips like in the first hour.
You're nothing like the high you were the last couple of weeks
No,
that we've been hanging out.
I was smoking keef, dude. That's all I was smoking was keef. And so like even when I was like even when, normally the high will like wear off, you know. Well, if I'm smoking keef like I smoke weed, the high never goes away.
Right.
And so I'm just getting higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. I was spinning in my chair a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I
Well, there were times when talking to you started getting to be a struggle because you were like wandering in your conversations, dude.
I do that anyway, but whenever
Yeah, but no, not like.
this is a whole nother level. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah, I
Mostly it was amusing, but sometimes it's like, what are you fucking talking about, bro? Where are you going with this?
I was getting to rolling status.
You were, for reals.
Damn, bruh. Achievement unlocked.
Yeah.
You have achieved rolling 1247 high. Everybody got water. Everybody got weed. Blue and green, everything.
So unless you're mining, I suggest when you're moving dirt for landscaping purposes, use the building tool to click a block and delete dirt instead of pickaxing it. Because I think a little bit of the pickaxing is where you start getting those weird anomalies when you try to flatten shit out.
Okay, instead of using the pickaxe, use what?
Use the build tool
Ah,
and
yes, yes. Okay, use the hammer,
when
the construction hammer.
yeah, and
You can be
delete.
more You can be way more precise with that. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, because the pickaxe leaves little bumps and anomalies, so when you go to flatten it, certain things won't go down to the same level because it's got like a a,
A cone,
a memory code. Yeah, exactly. And it
like a
like
circle.
I flattened one of your cones up there out and it worked, but sometimes those things don't flatten. They'll just sit there and warp out even more, if not make things worse.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you get to dirt removal and stuff like that, try to delete stuff instead of pickaxing it. I know it's nice to get the dirt and the rocks and stuff, but
No, I get what you're saying. I will do. I'm gonna do that. We're at hour 41. You want to come and want to show off characters or something? Talk about
oh,
builds. Get 20
we
minutes to
could.
do that. If there's one you want to show.
This is one of my first builds, and I still like it.
All right. Put yourself in a photogenic position. Oh shit. Ah.
You mean die in the lava?
Did you see that?
I did.
Oh man. Now watch. Let's see if I can do it.
Well, if we're gonna get photogenic, I got to go down to my place
Oh.
with the
Oh,
landscaping.
okay. Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
There.
I think we can get this place looking pretty good up here, though. I've been working on smoothing out your landscaping so it looks more aesthetic.
Yeah, I'm gonna block it out and we'll see from there. I'm in no rush.
Damn, dude, this is starting to look sweet.
Yeah, it really is picturesque. The game is beautiful. The Reddit pictures are unreal.
Yeah, I've seen some really nice ones.
So where should we sit?
Um, Good question. Actually, it was pretty nice right in here.
All right, cool. So let's see. I'm gonna show your screen and you can talk about your build and show the character screen and whatnot. All right. It's all
Well,
you.
this
You have the floor.
this was my attempt at a warrior with range capabilities, and you know, when you when it comes down to it, you could pretty much build out two classes with one character. Although you short yourself in a few spots here and there. Obviously, I could use some more constitution and more strength to be a more effective fighter. So I shorted myself there, which I think if I rebuilt this, I can do that because I'm starting to get better at streamlining my thought process on these things. Like, I don't need two of these going this way. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
right.
So, like, I could streamline some of this a little better to min max some of this so I can, if I want a
I
little
see
bit
your points
stronger,
are fairly evenly spread.
which is not good, to be
Right.
honest with you. Like, I'd rather min max one of the combat skills as high as I can go and not like spread it out. Because right now I'm like a little bit bow and a little bit, you know, uh,
Sword,
warrior,
sword.
sword and shield. It's not all of one and a little bit of another to enhance you know. But I mean, I guess that's kind of what you get when you try to split the skill style. And I still get pretty good damage with the bow,
Mm-hmm.
but I noticed that some of my more warrior focused damage with my weaponry stuff, that I focus more on the damage department and the sword and shield stuff. I noticed when had much higher points than my 12 strength and 10 constitution, it was way more effective.
Right, right.
So
So more min
it's
maxing.
yeah. I suppose there's other areas that I can skimp on. Like, I don't know. If you're gonna be a bow guy, you kind of need dex and endurance, and
Yep,
the endurance helps with the strength builds too. So
sure does. Yeah,
I
you're
don't
gonna
know.
be slightly less effective as the melee, but you can be very effective as
Right?
both,
Yeah.
which is
Yes.
important because as we talked about earlier, I just finished my full on. You went first and did the full strength build and constitution build, and when we got to the go to the map, when we got to the bottom left north or southeast corner with deep cut and uh,
Scatterbone.
scatterbone,
Yeah.
it's like it's not impossible, not by any stretch, but it's just like you said, it's so tedious and
Right.
having range, having some endurance, some stamina, like would really make your life less hellish trying to clear those areas. Um,
Well, and the when I my first full melee build that I was trying to do the tank melee stuff with, it was cool against everything, including those green guys. It just
mhm,
took a while, like we were saying, it's tedious, but it was when we went to fight the matron with the acid spit that it does. That thing was turning on a dime and spitting acid on me, even when I was trying to come up from behind.
right.
And I had no resistance to it. So being a ground attack guy wasn't really that fun when I was attacking those. But I've gone on to have better success against them. I don't know if they nerfed that like immediate turnaround and spit that they were doing.
There's a new
Uh,
attack. There's an attack that I don't remember seeing in early release where he
right,
throws 5
right,
poison vials, and they're basically like 5 mini projectiles of the big spit. But he also
yeah,
still does the big spit. So
yeah, yeah. You just, I don't think he was turning on a dime and doing the big spit like every time I got close to him.
show your
Even when
character.
you had aggro, show my character.
Yeah. So we talked about the build. Now let's look at the character screen and look at the gear that you're using.
Since it's a hybrid build, I've got the Deerstalker hood, which is, bow and ranged attack bonuses.
Hmm.
And then I use the soldier chest plate for the stamina and the health, which is it's a great one for a warrior class. I actually prefer this over the paladin stuff, to be
Right.
honest. And then Deerstalker gloves, more ranged multipliers, and then the rest is all the soldier stuff. Oh no, Deerstalker boots. Yeah, I was trying to focus mostly on the ranged
You get
because I
stam
wanted.
regen, and you got
Yeah,
a chest piece that gives stam. Your arms are what? Stam as well?
yes,
Yeah, right. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that'll
all
give you.
stam or ranged. Yeah,
And
and then
then
just the pants and the chest are a
health is
little bit
stam. Yeah.
more tanky, and my rings are stam, both of them.
Both of them? Okay. Here,
Yeah.
and bring us. Okay, you got the.
So I have no stamina issues on this build at all, like
It
zero.
looks great too, man. What a great looking.
Uh, yeah, it's a good outfit. Like the combination of the
Well, I
two
mean,
were
have
meant
you,
for each
you
other.
we we've talked about this, um, not when we were broadcasting, but it's worth bringing up that like you can when you mix and match the pieces, they all seem to really all blend well together. Not necessarily everything, but like there's a lot of pieces that complement each other, and that art style seems their art style and their art team seems to really have paid attention to and given some forethought into people making hybridized characters and
Right.
therefore use hybridized armor. That was a mouthful.
Yep.
Okay, so this tune is a ranged and melee up close.
I
Uh,
called this my weapon specialist
okay, weapon
because it
specialist.
was kind of a hybrid, ranged and sword and shield, and it's good at both. Like really good at both. It's just not great at either.
Right, right. Which that's fair, right?
It works. I noticed that the really high level birds give me a little trouble.
Mm-hmm.
If there's like something else I've got to run away from at the same time, like I had a one of those level 30 blue
Shroud birds. Yeah,
shroud birds on me. Well, scorpions were chasing me, and one green guy was chasing me, and
yeah. That's rough.
that was a tedious fight. That
That
would
would be
be
hard
tedious
for
with
any
even
class.
yeah, exactly.
So
But yeah, it I pulled it off. I had to do a lot of running, which
yeah,
is
it can be
kind of what
dicey.
range builds do anyway.
This is true. Yeah, my first character that I built is ranged, and I want to do we'll do a thing next time on other characters. But that's the weapon specialist that must be built. Anything else you got want to add about that? It's a cool build. Cool build
I
out there.
really enjoy this build. I think this might be my most complete, although I think I will do a little fine now that I understand the skill tree a little bit more and understand what I like and don't like about certain things.
Might go back
I
and change a few
I
things.
Yeah, I might take a little bit out of the assassin here, although I do like grabbing these extra dexterity things. But um, yeah, I don't know. I don't like any of these. Like I didn't like either one of these. They seem more fluff than function.
Well, when we get to my archer build, I'll talk about those two abilities for sure because I love them, but I do change my DPI frequently while playing an archer because
Right.
when you do beast sting, You need, and basically what that is, it's like Neo Matrix, Legolas style shooting.
Right.
So uh, when I pump my DPI up to 2000 or something, I can do my jump and then be sting and be somewhat invulnerable, not totally invulnerable, because if you're surrounded by shitloads of enemies, which I can do with a ranger, and not get hit, because basically jump, bee sting. Um, it's a little disorienting because of the DPI change. Anyways, I'll talk about all of that when I talk about my first character. Which character is this of yours, and does it have max skill points?
I'm 98% sure that I've got it, all the skill points.
All right.
Um,
114
uh,
is the cap, is what I've been told.
this was my second build out. My first one I've changed more than any because it was my the melee attempt I did that. By the time we got to end game, I was getting frustrated with its capabilities.
Right.
So I've changed that one several times, and I'm pretty happy with the melee healer, the tank healer concept I came up with. I'm pretty happy. It does pretty good because it heals.
It
Like
does. It's fantastic for what group content we've done. Honestly, it's
yes,
really
it
good.
really is a great group character, and that's why I'm gonna keep it because since there's multiple character slots, that one's fun to take out with a group of people
Yeah, we have
for sure.
four. We have four total slots on this server. So at any given time, a party of four, you have a character that can be a healer tank and would be very useful for, say, some people leveling, or even as just a battle buddy to go clear something that someone's having trouble with.
This is my generally when I'm doing building and running around doing the chores and just uh regular fighting. This is the one I play because it's got the the chore skills, the lumberjack, the miner, and the mason stuff. You know,
Yeah, that's what this tune for me is as well. So you got, pretty sure you got all the skill points, 114. So if you were going to try to make a build like this yourself, make sure you go and get all of the shroud roots, which can be somewhat of a task, because some of them are buried in caves and stuff. You really got to get down in the nooks and crannies of the shroud to find them sometimes, and you might need a buddy to do that with. And if you do, you're more than welcome to join us in the gauntlet. Um, I'll switch over to my screen and show you this dude. So this is, I made him look old because I don't know, he looked cool. I like the character model. Um, he's got like bags and shit under his eyes. Okay, so skills. Um, I went mage because I just don't give two shits about anything on this character except mining and farming. So I took anything that would give me stamina so that I don't run out of stamina while I'm mining and have to stop, because I've been in parties where we're all mining a big lapis mine or something, and everyone's like having to stop and like and meanwhile I just pop a yucca fruit, which gives you plus 20 stamina recharge, and I have um, good metabolism, and which opens up rebound, which increases your base stamina regen by 50%, and I have sweet tooth, which increases the stamina regen of sweets by 50%, which gives me 20, so 30% regen, 30% regen total on the yucca fruit. So basically, I can mine almost for 10 minutes straight or something like that, which is something that I wanted. And I got merciless attack and some constitution in strength points, mostly for health, and I didn't need to get merciless attack, but I wanted to practice my parries. Um, 'Cause I think that's a good thing to do uh, you know, on every character. I would say until you get it, and then you can take it off if you don't want merciless attack. But I think that it's good to know how to parry, even if you're not gonna do a counter. So those 2 points in strength, 2 points in constitution. There. Now we get to the big part of it. I'll mention the airborne and an updraft, and then I got that extra endurance point. But that's as far as I went. Um, I got the Relentless Flame and Inner Fires for extra time in the Shroud, and I went ahead and picked up those two endurance points there. I only got this dexterity point for Airborne and Updraft, and and I figured I might as well since there's an endurance point there. Well rested, again, kind of a same thing with the Shroud time. I want as much time out in the world on my little excursion as possible. So the original idea for this build was out of frustration with wizards. I love wizards. Wizards are awesome. I even wrote a song about wizards, but I wish I could cue it up. I mean, I can, but anyways, I went wizard. Uh, Actually, I went anti-wizard. I wanted to just have a one-punch guy. And this skill actually is really powerful if you use it right. There are some archer builds that have it built in that are really interesting, where you're flying in and out of combat and you just punch people and stun them for your group. And they're only stunned for a second, but sometimes I'm sure it's likely due to server connection and stuff like that. It may be a slightly shorter or slightly longer than 1 second. Um, since I went
I
full
like.
mage, I grabbed all the spirit and intelligence right off the center there. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I like that the be gone skill coupled with the blink attack
Oh yeah, that's great. Just
because you stun
blink.
them and then blink into them and
You
do
can do it either
explosive
way. You
damage.
can stun, blink into them, or a blink in, or blink out, or blink. What is it? Blink then stun, or stun then blink.
Yes,
Yeah, that's great. It works both ways. ACDCs.
my
Uh,
my wizard has those two skills and it's very fun combo.
that does sound really fun. I haven't built my another. I'm gonna do another wizard. I haven't.
Like a full wizard, not a
Yeah,
not
full
a
wizard.
chore wizard.
Yeah, this is basically a chore wizard. But it started out as just One Punch Man, and I started going down. I was like, okay, I'll go fire, I guess. I always want blink. Um, I didn't get Necromancer till later. I went basically straight for quick charge, and then the damage from This Is the Way, which opens up all of the magic lines, the fire, thunder, and ice. Um, I thought about doing ice because of the snares, but I didn't want to have to. I didn't want to. I wanted the experience of leveling and killing stuff to just be easy as cake. So I went with the Fire Lion and Radiant Aura and Sun Aura and that last point of spirit first thing. Then I
My
went
uh
to
my gripe about those lines, the three different elements,
mm,
damage elements, the fire, the lightning, and the ice, and then the bonuses on the uh, fire and the bonuses on the shroud damage. Is that fire is the only one that you get not only its own line, but it get
the
its
auras.
bonuses.
Yeah, this should. I agree with you. If this should have two more. The frost line should have two more. Some skill, like
Right,
frost. Frost is the equivalent. Then this should be a bigger circle because that's like a capstone or whatever special
right.
ability. When receiving melee damage, the attacker will be slowed for 3 seconds. That's pretty huge. That's as huge as
It's
Radiant
nice, yeah.
Aura. So,
But if
um,
you're blowing them up before they even get anywhere near you,
Yeah, that's why I said
when you go
I went this route because I wanted no trouble.
right.
And then you crossed over, and then just to mention that you were talking about these, they're definitely preferential. There's no reason not to really do it because you're getting these extra, really powerful skills. Lightning Line doesn't have that,
No, not at all.
and Frost doesn't either. So, well, Frost has one, but Lightning has none. Also, there's no Eternal Lightning spell, which is another put a
Right.
pin in that. But
Yes.
crossed over to the wizard, could go dark arts, which is shroud damage or additional shroud damage, but there's only so much shroud magic in the game at the moment. So I was like, while it would be fun, and we talked about this, it would be kind of cool to build just a shroud wizard.
I
um,
tried. I did build one, and I was very unhappy.
yeah, I think it would be too early to build it because I think that later there may
Right.
be enemies and stuff that will be way more susceptible, baddies and stuff that kind of a mid-range wizard would be really effective at, you know, dispatching.
Right. I think the only way that would really be effective is if you built out a wand battle wizard with shroud damage as your
Yeah, you definitely need some constitution, I think, um, because you'll be mid-range and you'll be close to
right.
get off those meteors, and with the helix wand, you need to be fairly close as well.
Exactly.
So, chain hit, which is on critical hit magical weapon, the attack automatically hit a second enemy within 15 meters, which is a lot bigger than what it seems, for 5 shock damage per intelligence. And I'm not buffed right now, but my intelligence goes up to, what is it? Go here, eat this, right, and back to this. So 16. Um, is there another food that I'm missing? Oh, it's spirit. Uh, I do the my consumables currently are nettle, stinging nettle, just plain old. There's nothing we can craft that I know of other than more nettle. Glow soup, and I'll switch between yucca fruit and constitution items. And if I use the greater shroud flask again with the min max type mindset, inner fire, relentless flame, plus that uh, the flask, I get 21 minutes or 22 minutes in the shroud. Um, that's usually enough time for some stone dude to find his way to a little break in the shroud, usually. But if you're really stoned on Keef, um, you might have accidentally spent 22 minutes in the shroud trying to find a fucking way out. So
Oh yeah, that'd be me. And I'm not even smoking the
you're
teeth.
not even a stoner. Okay, so 16 intelligence and 16 spirit. So he's like a mid. He's not even a real wizard, really, right? He's a mid-range hack of a wizard who has a lot of stamina and can stay in the shroud a long time and can practice parrying and counter strikes, which is what merciless attack is, and gets an extra well rested bonus. So that is my. I don't know what I would call this character. I named him Gray Man, but like, he's not really. Only he does fire damage, so I guess he's a fire mage. But you know, uh, that's about all. And he gets the bonuses to the just general magic damage. So if I'm using acid or frost or lightning, I get bonuses to that.
Having
He
that 16 intelligence should add some pretty decent damage
Oh,
multiplier.
I don't have a problem with most things.
Yeah.
As far as gear goes, I went with, and the reason I think is my gear choice, specifically the Warlock helmet. I do like the look of this I really love the look of this whenever I'm running around in the shroud. It just looks like some sort of like new age post-apocalyptic elf dude, but it's not what I need to be wearing typically. I need to be wearing the warlock helmet that gives you 25% critical strike damage and 8% magical critical strike chance. So when you that sort of makes up a little bit of the lack of what a real wizard would have, 20 intelligence plus, and maybe a little more spirit. Um, the but I don't think it makes it up totally because real wizards just nuke the fucking shit out of everything.
Yep.
I will switch to this whenever I'm in a high level area. The Paladin, Radiant Paladin chest plate for the health. But basically, this is the plate that I like to use. The Rogue chest plate for the stamina. For it's 48 stamina. This plate, the Radiant Paladin, it only gives 24. And I'm more concerned about stamina because this guy is mining the crap out of everything.
Yeah.
Hands, I use the night gloves for the extra one-handed melee damage. Mostly for cosmetic reasons, but also because I do use a one-hander and I'm practicing parrying and counters, and it looks great with the set. I recently switched to the night trousers for the stamina regen and the +7 stamina. There was an extra set in the vaults, and I use the eagle eye boots. I've used the Deadeye boots and the Eagle Eye boots, but with all the stam I already have built in, I don't really need the other boots that are the -700 stam regen delay. I don't really need it, so I just go for the more stamina pool in general. And I
Right.
still get the delay regeneration deal. And for rings, I am totally exploiting and using the rings of rapacity. 2 of them.
You got two?
Yeah, I have 2.
I find it doesn't feel any different having 1 to 2.
Um, I may try that actually. I may switch it out to see. I want another. I want to farm rings of ancients. I want so many of those. But
I'm actually looking forward to showing you my wizard build because of the way I did my rings and stuff. I never run out of mana ever
yeah,
on my
me
wizard
either.
build,
Hardly.
and I only have 1 ring,
Well,
1
I'm
rapacity.
definitely gonna experiment with different rings then because I did take one off once for shroud time, just to, another min max point to see. Okay, I've got 22 minutes. How much more does this ring give me? And I don't know where to get that ring. I want to find out. We can farm
The
that ring.
rapacity,
No, not that one.
the other
The
one.
ring of the burning eye. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have uh on my wizard I have another one that gives me plus 30 to mana and plus 30 to health or something. And so when I get the minus 20 from the rapacity one, I'm still at a
Oh, you're
plus 10.
using the commander's ring and the ring of rapacity.
Yes, it's a great combo.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be a good. For me. It would either be that one probably or the Ring of Ancients. I'd like to see which one
Yeah.
makes feels better. And then for blocking, I just use the Armlet Ethereal Plane, which is the current best one. It
I,
also adds plus
see,
10% shroud resistance, which is nice.
the thing about those the wrist shields, they have crappy block skill, but it has great parry skill. So
Yep.
if all you're looking to do is parry something and then instead of block, because you can't really sit there and take a bunch of hits from the green guys with that
No.
because it won't block, and you'll still take a decent amount of damage from that guy. But if you're using it just for the ones that you can parry on, that's the way to go.
Yeah, you make a good point because whenever I parry, I've been learning to parry the green guys, and which I still haven't mastered yet.
I
The
don't think it's possible to master that.
Okay, well that makes me feel a little better because uh, when I parry them, it takes almost a whole bar, if not a whole bar of stamina for each parry. So that's pretty significant compared to
Yeah,
all the other mobs in the game. And when you
yeah.
got 2 or 3 of them wailing on you, that is just like, just get out. You
That's
can't
been
win.
my problem when I try to with my full melee guy. Is that the only time I run out of stam on that guy is when I'm trying to block a bunch of the stuff from the green dudes. Like when I got multiple things attacking me, I end up running out of stam from the blocking
Yeah.
and the parrying.
Yeah, yeah, I encountered it in Scatterbone on my warrior. I'm like,
Yep.
I see exactly what Miss be talking about.
Yeah, it's
So it's
if you can't take him out at range, then you have to fight him up front. But then you run out of stamina, so
and you have
the
to
whole
run
thing's
away,
just a yeah,
and
it's
they
a whole
reset.
tedious process.
Sometimes they reset too, which is really frustrating. It's not It
Yes,
shouldn't happen because you got to whittle all that health away again.
they reset so quick sometimes. Like it's not there's no like forgiveness point. Like if you go out of range just a little bit, they're back resetting.
Well, I've noticed that their health doesn't always reset, but it will sometimes. Depends on how far away I go, really. If I go
Right.
far enough away, and sometimes you just have no choice other than to GTFO.
Yep.
So, for staffs, I'm using the Blackened Staff, level 20, best I got. That's kind of a rare staff to find, at least for me at this point. Haven't seen many.
I have a
Uh,
level 18, so you got a couple of levels better than mine.
I don't even remember where I got it. Wish I did. And then I also use the Shroud Weaver. Um, Increases health regen by 1. I'll use that in the Shroud usually just to keep my health regening. It ain't much,
That's
but
probably the best offensive staff.
yeah, and I'm a fire mage, so like, it does
Yeah, that's
plus 9 fire damage. It's times 2, that's 18. I already do shitloads of damage. In fact, so I can just walk around in the Shroud and most stuff will just walk up to me and die because of the aura.
yep,
So, I mean,
yep.
that's that's it for the builds on or these builds at least for today and our little housekeeping we did in the Gauntlet server. I'll drop the Discord link for the public Exile server. Actually, you can just type in. This makes it really easy. If you type in your browser exile.chat, it will bring you straight to the public Discord for Exile, and be more than willing to help you guys through the game, play some stuff. Uh, this isn't the only game that we play as a community, uh, so yeah, this has been fun. Thanks to Mispy for hanging out with me and helping me fix my lawn. I really needed some help with that, so I'm going to show Mispy Haven's character now. You're on your character screen. Let's get a good shot of you. I wish we had emotes so we could wave goodbye. You can just spin them around real quick, and it's as good as an emote. Misbehaving. Which is that? What tune? What did you name that tune?
uh, you know what? It doesn't say in the game because it just calls me misbehaving when I'm logged in the game, no matter what. But I think this one's just misbe.
All right, that's Misby, and this is Gray Man, and those were our builds, and that was what we did. Until next time, live long and prosper. Boosh.
Boosh.